Dude, I gotta be quiet. I gotta play it cool because my daughter's still sleeping. My wife went to a meeting at the school, like a pre-school year starting meeting, and I said no problem. I'll get her ready while you're gone. But then she just kept sleeping, man. She just kept sleeping. So I took a photo of my sleeping child like 5 minutes ago and sent the photo to my wife. And I said I was gonna get her ready, but she's still asleep. And then I sent the photo and said photo evidence. I was like, just so you know, if you come home and she's awake and she's in pajamas and she hasn't brushed her teeth, it's not that I'm being lazy. It's that she was still sleeping. I like time stamped the image. I held up like my watch and a copy of today's newspaper exactly, and the banana for scale. I had to protect myself, man. Because otherwise she might be like, he's being lazy. And the truth is, I wasn't being lazy. I'm benefiting from good fortune. It was nice to not have to do that stuff and to pass it off to somebody else. But it wasn't my choice. My whole family hits me with the poison pill, man. At least twice a week, I have the dilemma of either my wife or my daughter being like, I want to wake up early tomorrow, and then wouldn't you know it, it's the time that they're supposed to get up, and I'm standing over the edge of their bed like season 1 Dexter, being like, am I gonna wake them up when they said they wanted to be up, or am I gonna let them sleep because clearly they still need to sleep? I'm making that choice at least once a week. And my answer, I always let them sleep. The economy makes no sense. Actually, it makes like a lot of sense. It's kind of sick, man. People aren't ready for this. Saving money is evil. Spending money is actually, no matter what you're buying, spending money is charity. When you save money, it sits as a number in your bank account and can't help the world. If you buy a Labubu, that $1,000 goes out. The Labubu seller gets some. They pay a little bit in sales tax. Then all of a sudden, they take that and they go buy a Lafufu, and the Lafufu seller gets a little bit of money. They pay a little bit in sales tax and corporate tax, and then they pay themselves a dividend, and they pay a little bit in income tax, and then they buy Labubu cookies, and the Labubu baker, all of a sudden, they pay a little bit of sales tax, a little bit of corporate tax. They pay themselves a dividend. All of a sudden, they're paying a little income tax on it. Like with $100, you can actually generate like $1 million in economic activity. It's crazy. Damn, usually I'm like excited to go live after a long weekend, but to be honest, I'm not fucking with yous today. I had a really good Monday. I had a really good weekend. On Saturday, we went out for dinner with some friends who have kids in my daughter's school. And then on Sunday, we didn't do all that much. But on Monday, aka yesterday, we had a picnic with like lots of people who have kids in my daughter's school. It was a good time, man. You guys can't compete with a day that's sunny but not too sunny and warm but not hot. And then I bring sparkling water and cookies and chips and goldfish crackers, and somebody else brings like some sesame crackers from the TNT supermarket and probiotic kefir popsicles just so that it's sweet, but they don't feel guilty about giving it to the kids. And then somebody goes, should we order pizza? Before you know it, there's like 8 adults, 11 kids maybe, and we got like 10 pizzas. What are we doing with the pizza math? So we leave the picnic a couple hours later. I inherit a whole large pizza, but it's not just a large. It's a large that's made up of 2 halves of larges, one of which was cheese and one of which was supreme. So I ended up, I basically got a large with 2 different flavors is basically like 1 1/4 larges. And people were like, pizza's not enough. Let's order some Korean fried chicken. So I'm eating the pizza. I'm eating the fried chicken. I'm eating the chips. I had 2 popsicles. I had half a freezy. We're filling up water balloons. It was a great time, man. Liam Cohen is the new head coach for what AFC team? Who fired their coach last year? Who had a disappointing year? The Jaguars. Nailed it! Egg nose ball, dude. Did you hear that Dan got roasted in his fantasy draft because he took a kicker in the 8th round and everyone made fun of him? And then it turns out he took the same kicker as me. So I looked up my draft results to see where I got him. So Dan took him in the 8th round. I got him 13th round, 7th pick. Ooh. That's a bit of a reach. That's all right, though. Bates is going to kill it this year. The PATs are going to go crazy because of all the touchdowns Gibbs is going to score. Deion Sanders' first game as head coach of Colorado football. The Buffaloes, they defeated a team they weren't expected to defeat. Texas Christian University. It is, I know ball, dude. I know ball. TCU is also top of mind because they embarrassed Bill Belichick this weekend. I know ball. Could this would be a crazy sweep if I could get the top right, man. This would be crazy. This Diamondbacks pitcher, Randy Johnson, that was like, turns out there's a lot of Johnsons in baseball. And some people who have the last name Johnson as well. Nah, don't know that one, I'm afraid to say. This male celebrity is a former shareholder. Male celebrity has the same cursed vibe as like when someone describes a voyage as fateful. It's like if you ever get described as this, they're like, they don't know what the hell else to say about you. Like, calling him a celebrity is like he's saying he's famous for being famous. As much as I have a distaste for Ryan Reynolds, he is an actor. He has acted in movies, okay? Like he's not Paris Hilton. That is Michael Richards. And I feel like that might be Seth Meyers. Michael Richards is, I mean, just automatic, though. I think that's Seth Meyers, man. Just looks like him. I don't know what you want me to say. It had a little Ben Stiller vibe to it. I'm still kind of rolling it over in my head last week that I said Ben Stiller is crazy jacked, and people were like, he is. Have you ever seen a movie where Ben Stiller takes his shirt off, man? I don't know, maybe age 60, he's just in good shape. But like even through his mid-40s, dude was fucking jacked, man. Have you seen in Meet the Parents when they make him wear the Speedo to play volleyball in the swimming pool? He has like an 8-pack, man. He's supposed to be an everyman. He has an 8-pack. He's toned, not jacked. He has an 8-pack. What do you mean he's toned? That's insane, man. And this is not a Brad Pitt 8-pack from Fight Club where he was just really skinny. That's like, he was jacked. That's not jacked. You literally, and it's not your fault, but you were like, you grew up in a fucked up time for like male body image. That's 2000s jacked. He has an 8-pack and like rippling muscles. This is before people started to look like, you know, no 70-year-olds look like an anabolic Santa Claus until J.K. Simmons got on the testosterone therapy, okay? That's a modern phenomenon that I'm praying is a bubble. Go back, the ideal, and I don't know if let's post Ben Stiller in the Speedo from Meet the Parents on Natty or Juiced, because I would love to know Redditors, like 17-year-old Redditors' opinions on whether his boulder shoulders are possible to achieve without any kind of chemical enhancements. That's what your ideal physique should be as a normal guy. You should aspire to look like Ben Stiller in Meet the Parents, okay? You should not, and it's a value judgment. You should not aspire to look like the Liver King with his shirt off, in my opinion. But anyway, this folk singer gained fame in the 2020s with hits like Stick Season, Dial Drunk, Forever. Folk singer. So here, it's probably not Devendra Banhart. Probably not Iron and Wine. Probably not like, is it Bonnie Prince Billy? Probably not. I don't think he's that famous. For some reason, I was Googling Bonnie Prince Billy and it brought up like an interview he did where he said he doesn't regret working with R. Kelly because it made him a better judge of character. And I was like, you know what? That's fucking funny. That's a funny ass reply to being asked if you regret working with R. Kelly. Artists, man, they're one-on-ones. I have no idea. Is this? I know he's a country singer, but I don't know anything about him. Maybe it's Morgan Wallen. I have no idea. 58% got that right, so I'm not tapped into the zeitgeist, bro. No. Oh, I've seen people wearing his shirt in the mall. Noah Cahan was literally in Vancouver last year. Yeah, so we're like 4 million people. I don't know, man. Get a lot of people have been here within the last year. It's not like I'm not putting out a guest book at like arrivals. you know, and then running through the the signatures every single day. That's crazy. My mom met Benson Boone at a Cactus Club last year. That's crazy. He has Blue Water Cafe money. He shouldn't be at the Cactus Club, y'all. What's a Cactus Club? It's like it's a fancy McDonald's, essentially. It's not that bad, but it's like if you're traveling to a city and you have like a lot of money, you don't have to go to a Cactus Club. Surely you've got somebody that could like recommend you a nicer local restaurant. Hello, honey. I'm already streaming. You can come sit on my lap. Oh my gosh. You know, the only time I see Charmander is when you're here. Look at this. It's the most Charmanders I've ever seen. And you know, everyone says I sounded like I got hurt in Minecraft. This is when you got on my lap, I went, ooh. You want to do our Minecraft sound effects? You were ready for the creeper?
Everybody's posting the creeper.
Oh, everybody's posting the creeper now. Hello. Can you do a sheep? I've never tried Minecraft sheep. How was that? The sheeps don't do that?
Yeah.
I thought the sheeps go. And then the cows go.
Someone put in a whole crowd of.
How about Villager? Villager goes. I think I'm doing pretty well. Okay, watch this. This is like impossible. This is really tough, okay? This game, I can't even explain it to you. I don't think I could explain it to the average adult. Four-letter words, swearing, profanity, and expletives, these are all bad words. These are curse words, curses, see? This is like when you were in the car yesterday and you said, Daddy, can we listen to Savage? And I said, sure, no problem. And then in like the first 15 seconds, Megan Thee Stallion, she's got a bit of a potty mouth, if I may say so. I didn't know that about Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion, she says some words that I wouldn't want my daughter to say. And she even goes so far as to say some words that I'm not allowed to say. I said, real quick, let's run this back with the radio edit. But then like half of the song is just silent. But it's got a heck of a beat to it. Gung, 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 gung. Things that can be antihistamines. Mine is in here, or his, Christmas, his and hers. There's R and me. These are words that start with like pronouns. Oh, my, not me, my. Starting with possessive determiners. Daddy's a genius. Wait. Christmas, house, mouse, and stirring. What is some stuff that you would see in the night before Christmas? Because not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. When I rose from the clatter to see what was a frickin' matter. And then this is some stuff that like Michael Jordan would wear in The Last Dance. A mesh shirt, a pleather vest, an earring, and a necklace. Worn by Earring Magic Ken. Holy, man. Things he got on. You know what we need to make a GIF, by the way, or like a BTDV emote if it doesn't exist? Have you ever seen The Last Dance, where Michael Jordan has headphones on just like this and sunglasses, and he's in the back of the team bus, and then someone goes, "Yo, Michael," and he goes like this. He pulls the headphones off of his ears.
What are you listening to? Huh? What are you listening to? Kenny Lattimore. Brand new. Not even out yet. He's a friend of mine, you know I can get that.
And then he's like, "What are you listening to?" And he's like, "New Keith Sweat. He sent it to me." Or something like that. This is that unreleased Kenny Lattimore. That's it. That unreleased Kenny Lattimore. I love this. That's like when you hear something that's like surprising to you, you got to go like this. You got to post this emote. Honey, I want you to try this one, okay? You can do this one. I swear it to you. All you have to do is guess how much this costs. And not in jail. Because in jail, it would probably be like, I don't even know. You need some Klarna. But honey buns, 12 count. Honey buns. Duchess honey buns. Full set. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
How much do you think one honey bun would cost? $1. That's at a gas station. That's a pretty good bet, I would say. But I don't think it's going to be $12. I think they're going to be a little cheaper. I think it's going to be $7.99 for 12. Let's see. What's Daddy's favorite store to go to? The grocery store, exactly. So, like, this is my game. Oops. That means I thought it would cost way too much money. There we go, $5.99. We got it in too. Hey, what if we started a business where we bought honey buns at Costco and then smuggled them into penitentiaries in exchange for, like, I don't know, cigarettes? That's not a bad idea. I think there's some arbitrage to be done there. I bet also there's a market for, like, small batch handcrafted prison wine. Hello. She is. Oh, you got to get ready.
Oh, I missed breakfast.
No. Mommy will give you some breakfast. You didn't miss breakfast. This isn't Marriott Sweets. You know, the breakfast goes later than 9:30. Lonely Island coffee table book would go crazy. You know what I was thinking about? Fashion is really funny. Because when they did Turtleneck and Chain, the Turtleneck and Chain was like a nod to the late 80s, early 90s, like R&B fashion. It looked ridiculous. Now, it's genuine fashion, and it doesn't look ridiculous. It looks awesome. Whenever I see a dude in good shape in a turtleneck and chain, I'm like, damn, he's got this shit on. It looks ridiculous. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look ridiculous. Wearing graphic tees as an out-of-shape late 30s guy, that looks ridiculous. You're dressing like you're still in the 10th grade. Turtleneck and chain, dressing like a fella that wants some pussy. You're going to hate me for saying it, but it's, what do you want me to say, man? He's dressing like he knows he got that shit on and he wants to take it off. And there's something about that that's undeniable. Band shirts, the band shirt is not as bad as the novelty t-shirt. As long as it's a good band. But if it's a bad band, then it's a bad shirt made even worse because it reflects badly on your personality. So it's a risk. You're splitting on 20 in blackjack, okay? So you got to be careful. Well, I think if you're married or in a long-term relationship, wearing shit that looks gross, ironically, is aura. Like if you've been married for 2 years and you've got like a bit of a porn stash and a Bass Pro Shops hat and like a shirt where the collar is kind of ripped from like the rest of the shirt a little bit and it shows off like a little bit of shoulder hair, that's kind of like, there's aura to that as well. There's like a comfortable self-confidence that's got aura there. But like Zelda Triforce shirt, Gucci belt, that's not gonna cut it as an adult in 2025. I'm not the master of sartorial arts, but we need a better class of criminal, is all I'm trying to say. The hell are we doing here, man? We got the ESPN feed. They're telling me Kinshawn Judkins might actually be able to play week 1. They're saying the charges have been dropped on Kinshawn Judkins and he might be RB1 for the Browns on Sunday. You know what? It looks like a 1950s retro futuristic ray gun firing. You know what? They have like the ray guns in 1950s sci-fi, but when they fire, it's not like a straight beam. It has like a little like it has to like find its arc first before it shoots, and it comes out almost like a lightning bolt. You're definitely a country we guessed before, like Rwanda. Shit. You're Eritrea then. You have to be Eritrea. You're Eritrea! Okay. Huge. Universal 1987, 18 million. Michael J. Fox, that strikes me as Back to the Future 2. I don't think it's Back to the Future 3. Because Back to the Future 1 was 85. I don't think they were pumping the third one out by 87 already. The comedy, maybe it's Teen Wolf. There's no such thing as an overnight success. Brantley Foster took 2 weeks. Brantley Foster has always dreamed of making it big in New York, but he learns that jobs and girls are hard to get. The secret of my success, y'all. I don't know that one. I am so ready for the 80s to be over, man. I feel like I didn't know it. So the 80s ended when I was 13 months old. But they didn't really end. They just went on hiatus for about 15 years. And then starting in 2006, they came. I think maybe summer 2007 when Transformers by Michael Bay came out. The 80s returned, and they've been back for 18 years since. So there's been 28 years of the 1980s, and I'm done with it, man. And they're never gonna die. They're gonna die the same way like a AA battery dies. It's like if you really push the button on your TV remote or you smack it against your hand a couple of times, you can still get it to turn the volume up maybe once or twice before it craps out. But like there's still going to be some ions that are impossible to deplete. But we need it to be done. We need it to be over, man. It's crazy. Anyway, that movie's probably all right, though. What about Disney? 87, starring Phil Harris. It's an animated comedy family adventure. A tune-filled animated extravaganza. That tells me nothing, man. It's the Aristocats. Okay, that is maybe... when I think of a tune-filled classic Disney film, I do think of the Aristocats. So that's fair. But not that one song. I know this is... We're playing all the hits, man. I love starting an old Disney movie on Disney Plus, and it says, we apologize for, there's some racially insensitive shit in this movie that we shouldn't have done, but we consider it like anti-art to edit it out, which I think is fair. But you're like, oh, how bad could it be? And then like the most racist thing you could ever imagine happens. No, okay. There is a lot of that in the Aristocats, but the Lady and the Tramp one is much worse for sure. Michael Jackson should have done the song for this one, man. I'm looking at the man in the iron mask. I have never seen this, by the way. I'm asking him to change his ways. I'm just going to be hearing it in my head for the rest of the day, man. Take a look at yourself and then and then he modulates it. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. You know what I think would be a great bad Twitch username? Guy who ad-libs too early at karaoke. There's always one in every karaoke room. There's always some guy who, when they play Weezer's The Sweater song, does the lying on the floor part too early. The first chorus, he goes, lying on the floor. And you're like, no, man, you have to build to that. That's chorus 2. And then in chorus 3, you go crazy. So annoying. Oh, man, you got no restraint. The song's 3.5 minutes long. You can't even wait for it. Embarrassing, man. Hey, do you want that MJ emote? Yeah. If you could link that MJ emote. I think that would be the rare emote that's like, instead of getting an emote and being like, what purpose do I have for this? We custom curated an emote that we know the purpose for. This could be used. It's perfect until we get DMCA'd. That's mjHUH. The zoom and everything is so good. So and I don't control how you use this. Like, language is about expression, right? I can't believe what that person just said. That's a great opportunity for mjHUH. Can you delete looking while you're in there? I like looking, though. I don't want to do I still have caca? I don't know if I still have caca. I do still have caca. But like, I'm assuming that looking is bad because it's like, whenever Super Creek gets rainbow training, people post looking. But I'm willing to tank that kind of degeneracy for what I like with looking, which is when the streamer says, take a look at this. And then I put looking in chat to be like, I'm looking. I'm willing to tank that. I like looking. I like stare. Life is good. I like that part when you add a new emote to the stream and everybody types it once just to make sure it works. Frozen yogurt versus the boff sandwich. This looks fucking horrible. I don't care. We've gone over it 1,000 times. Keep the sauce off of the top of the burger, man. It's disgusting. In Canada, the hot hamburger, which consists of a beef patty, buns, and gravy poured on top, somewhat resembles the boff sandwich. Yes. Okay, now the hot hamburger sandwich is a real thing, and I also think it's disgusting. That is a real Canadian food. But in my country's defense, it's from like, that's some mid-century Canadian food. Like, you can only find that shit in like Verona. And I'm not talking about Romeo and Juliet, Fair Verona, star-crossed lovers type shit. I'm talking about like, you can find that shit in like Caladar. You're not finding that shit near civilization. Let's put it that way. Shout out to my homies from Caladar. Anyone here from Caladar? No? That makes sense. Caladar, Ontario. Don't even have the damn population, man. There's no population data? They had nobody reply in the census that they just did? You know, maybe this is stupid. And I do love the Ben Affleck commentary on the Armageddon DVD where he is like, what is Michael Bay talking about? But the older I get, the more I actually believe it might be correct that it's harder to train astronauts to drill oil than it is to train oil drillers to be astronauts. It's like, at first you're like, you don't have to be a genius to drill for oil, but you have to be a genius to be an astronaut. So you're like, you'd be stupid to think it's easier to be an astronaut than an oil driller. But when you watch the movie, the only like space stuff they do is like sit in a chair and get shot in a rocket. Like, they didn't have to learn shit, man. 99% of their job was drilling the oil. I would rather send up expert oil drillers than expert astronauts. I don't know. I'd love to see a debate between Michael Bay and Ben Affleck. And maybe one of them could have like Jordan Peterson on their side and the other one could have, I don't know, pick your poison. But they need some help, I'm guessing. They need some experts. Maybe Ben Shapiro or something like that. Could be good TV. Pizza doesn't look that good. Ultimate Burger, it looks pretty good. I'll go with the Ultimate Burger on that one. You're going to have to bear with me on this one because this is insane. Focus on the Scotch egg and then tell me what the ice cream looks like in your peripheral vision. Now, it's hard because you know it's ice cream, but focus your attention on the Scotch egg and tell me what the ice cream looks like to you. Duck, dog, Homer Simpson, scrambled face. Okay, good. I was anchored on the Scotch egg when it came up, and I was terrified of what my peripheral vision had, which was a scrambled human face, but also a little bit like Admiral Akbar from Return of the Jedi. If I focus on the egg, I can see Admiral Akbar right here. Let me know if you can see it too. I'm going to have to go with ice cream on this one. 73% is so stupid. For 75 pence ice cream at a footy match, 73%, get a life. Show your abs. Show your abs or stop virtue signaling. This looks really good, but it is very expensive. This looks pretty good, and it comes with a beer. To be honest with you, the burger looks really good. I took a chance on it because of the price, but it's a horrible pizza. The other thing doesn't matter. Chips with Nutella, it's crazy this is going to clear, but the pork rib burger is just so uninspired. That's really bad. Grilled sausage with bread or chili and cheese loaded nachos. It's crazy that the chips are like the worst part of the nachos, but the worst thing you could do to nachos is not provide enough chips, which is what's happening here. Like, I would rather have this. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that that's at 82% given how terrible it looked. This one's not even worth talking about. Once again, I don't believe that this person is actually here. This is a green screen photo that they put on Facebook to make it look like they're at Vissel Kobe versus Kyoto Sanga 2024 to make their Facebook friends jealous. They got this shit from the kombini and then took it in front of a green screen. Like this, I'm sorry, that's not. Given what's happening on the pitch right now, nobody should be having their arms up and cheering. This doesn't check out, man. Something's not right. Something's not, they think we're stupid. This is an ad or something, man. Something's not right here. It's really hard for Japanese food to lose, but I've eaten a lot of shit that looks like this in this like burgundy ass plastic container. The most, Kate, don't listen. The most overrated Japanese food is the Shinkansen bento box. People are losing their minds. I can't, I get why they love it. The reason they love it is because it's a vibe. It's a vibe to be on the bullet train. And then like, as you pull out of the station, unwrap the bento and then, you know, you eat it, but it's cold by the time you get to it. The rice is not good. And then like half of the sides, I don't want the mac and cheese or like the fucked up mayonnaise coleslaw that they got. I don't want it. The same kinds of people who will be like, our bread sucks in North America. They're like, oh my God, tonkatsu sandwich. Katsu sando with fucking Wonder Bread with the crust cut off. It makes me sick. The virtue signaling makes me sick, man. So this looks good. But like once you eat that and it's cold and the sauce is like a little too sweet, and then once you eat this and it's a little gummy because like the karaage is not crispy because they cooked it like 4 days ago, the rice is so bad. It's like airplane food rice. But I still think it wins because people are sheep, man. They're fucking stupid. They're thinking with their phones, not with their brains. Now this one, chicken wing. Did I tell you? I don't think I told you. I got the most insulting trade offer in fantasy football history. Let me pull this up here. And 2x Pimpy, 3x Bape, if you're here, you should apologize or at least explain what you were doing here. Anyone know how to see trade requests in Yahoo Fantasy Football? Check email for the requests. Well, yeah, but I'm not going to show you my email on screen. I'll read it to you, okay? I'll read it to you. I don't know why they're doing Yahoo, by the way. They should be on Sleeper, but they're unk, okay? Here's the trade offer I got from 2x Pimpy, 3x Bape. I give up James Conner, RB1 for the Bills, and Chris Olave, wide receiver 2 for the Saints. I receive Chuba Hubbard and Khalil Shakir. Here's the methodology. So both of the players I'm giving up have a higher average draft position than both of the players that I'm receiving. You ready for this? You have an RB problem in week 8. I have 2 RBs that have a bye in week 8. You have an RB problem in week 8. This shores that up at a mild cost at the expense of every other week. I think it's a fair deal. Let me know. Denied. I slammed the denied button as fast as I could. And in the rationale, I wrote, I'll simply lose week 8 and then win the Super Bowl, I'm afraid. Is the most insulting, like trying to take advantage of a person trade that I think I've ever seen in fantasy football. Bro said, well, I'll give you a 52% chance to win week 8 at the expense of the other 15 weeks of the season. Come on, man. I'll pick up some dude on the waiver wire or something like that. Or I'll tank week 8. What do I care, man? That was an embarrassing request. It was insulting, man. The other thing is, sending a trade request like the day after the draft is actually like pussy mode. If you wanted the player, you should have drafted him. What the fuck do you mean I've got a hole in my team? You just drafted him. You drafted the team like yesterday. You fucked up. That's not my problem. I love my team. I like everybody I drafted. There's some pluses and some minuses, but if I wanted to fix those problems, I would have done it in the draft that we did like 2 days ago. You're so cooked. I'm going to come top 4 in the league without a doubt. I'm probably going to win, but sometimes sports have a little bit of variance. Not always, but sometimes. So who's your other RB? Jahmyr Gibbs, man. Round 1, pick 7, Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs is 7 is a steal? I know, because look at the people I was drafting against, man. They didn't know anything. Gibbs fell to 7? You don't even want it. When I was watching these picks come in, I was like, oh my God. These people do not know ball. The last like reference to football they have is like Madden 2018 or something like that. Where did Saquon go? I think it was RB2, probably like pick 3 or pick 4, if I had to guess. Let's go. This is rough, man. Sort these things from northernmost to southernmost by the location referenced in their name, starting with the northernmost. Okay. The Klondike Bar is pretty far north, and the Tasmanian Devil is really south. Lima, Peru is pretty south. Hershey's probably more south than Champagne, France. The question is, what the hell is Cisco, man? I have no idea what Cisco. I'm going to assume this is like something from like the Mayan Empire. Confirmed, y'all. Confirmed. He might be the GOAT. Let's put it that way. It is always crazy when you, like Americans that live in Hershey, Pennsylvania will be like, it's so cold here. And then you're like, really? It's cold there? 9 degrees south of France? Okay, pussy. Oh, yeah. How many more winter jackets do you need? In France right now, they're out on the Riviera, bro. But sure, yeah. It must be cold in Hershey, Pennsylvania right now. Whatever. How many Americans from Hershey do you talk to? Not that many, because honestly, we have our own Hershey, Smiths Falls, Ontario. But I think they recently turned the Hershey chocolate factory in Smiths Falls into like a canopy cannabis processing plant or something like that. Sign of the damn times, man. Nobody's eating chocolate anymore unless it's infused with CBD. What happens if the Gulf Streams stop, y'all? Are we fucked? It's chill. Just wind. Like honestly, so I've never lived through a hurricane or a tornado for that matter. But wind has got to be like one of the weather phenomenon I'm least afraid of. Earthquakes real high up on the list. That shit is like cosmically, fills you with a cosmic sense of dread. Flood's not good. Blizzards. Wind is, I guess I'll just stay inside or whatever. Yeah, like I'm sorry, there's no shot I'm getting beat by air. I've been working with that medium for 36 years now, almost 37 years now. Air, the massless phenomenon, I'd be surprised. Maybe you, but not me. That's why I don't like Twister or Twisters. I don't think you need to grip onto like a fucking light post or like the underside of a truck or something. If you just like maybe planted your feet, braced your core. Higher percentage of people who have individual income under 50K. My perception of both of these cities is that when people got fed up with San Francisco, because I don't know, like a coffee was $7, they were like, I'm going to move to a place where coffee is temporarily $3.99. And then they're like, I miss my nice coffee. And now the coffee probably costs like $6 here, both in Asheville and Madison. But my reputation, in my head at least, my reputation is that Madison inherited more of the tech exodus than Asheville. So I'm going to go Asheville. Higher percentage of adults who binge drink, Pittsburgh. You don't even have to think about it. People are wearing like Patagonia in Oregon. Like that's not, I'm not saying they don't get lit there because Eugene, Oregon is where the football team is, but Pittsburgh's a different beast altogether. Someone in Wisconsin just got arrested for their 17th DUI. I like how you said it like someone, like this. It could be a real story or it could be like part of a Conan O'Brien monologue. It's believable though. I'm not questioning the believability. So how many strikes do you get on like the DUI laws in Wisconsin, man? Or is it one of those things where they're like, like take the back road next time or whatever? First DUI is only a fine in Wisconsin? Nice try. That seems bad. I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase it. I don't necessarily believe in the idea that if you do a crime, we should punish you just to punish you. But a fine for drunk driving is kind of insane. They should probably blow up your car with... You ever see First Blood Part 2? Where he has the rocket tipped arrow for his bow and arrow. Or maybe I'm thinking of UHF, the Weird Al parody of Rambo. And he shoots the... I love this, by the way. I love holding it like this and then going... Like, you could tell I'm loosing an arrow. And then it shoots the rocket-tipped arrow and... They should do that. And they should sell tickets to it. Anyway, how you doing, Kate? Huge. I could have done better today, but you take the good with the bad. We were talking about it a little bit in the Discord today, but it is crazy how many people text and drive. Sometimes I'll park outside of the activity my daughter is in I'm like 10 minutes early. It's just the kind of guy I am. And I'll see people at like the stoplight, like the traffic light right next to where the activity is. I don't have data to back this up, but like 1 in 3 people is looking at their phone the entire time that they're at the red light, which is crazy. Your brain is fucked up. You have a horrible brain and it's your fault. You have to not do that. You have to go without stimulation for just for the length of your trip. And you don't even have to go without stimulation. You got Apple CarPlay. You can play whatever music you want to play, or like a podcast or an audiobook or anything, man. It's crazy. And like watching videos is just crazy while you're driving. Like, oh, it's a red light. This fucking red light's ruining my fucking day. Oh, wait, never mind. Blah, 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 blah. Somebody with a botched BBL making a fucked up matcha Dubai chocolate donut or something like that. Wow. You're going to die one day. That's the sum total of your lived experience, is watching fucked up AI-generated content at red lights before you crash your car into somebody crossing the street. Congratulations. You fucking suck. You got one chance at it and you blew it. Makes me sick, man. Sorry, I got really mad there for a second, but I just like texting and driving it just doesn't make sense to me because there's nothing you get out of it. You don't get anything out of it. It's like choosing to debuff yourself permanently because you got bored for 15 seconds, man. I don't get it. I don't know. I just don't get it. I did not say driving drunk is better. All I'm going to say is those people shouldn't have done that, but they did drive their car to the bar. So that presents, at the very least, a logistical problem that they got to find a way out of. What they should do is they shouldn't have taken their car to the bar in the first place. That's a failure to plan is a plan to fail. What they should have done is taken an Uber to the bar so that they could take an Uber home. What you got to do if you fucked up and you're stupid and you're like, I'll drive my car to the bar, but I just won't drink. And then, of course, you drink because you're at a bar. You got to take the Uber home. And then in the morning, you got to take an Uber back to the bar to get your car. That's what you have to do if you're being responsible. If that sounds like it sucks, that's why you should have taken an Uber to the bar in the first place instead of taking your car to the bar. But texting and driving doesn't make any sense to me. And I know I've said this before. People hate this because I'm punching down, but like I'm famous on the internet. And if I can go 25 minutes, 90 minutes, 8 hours without seeing what people are saying about me on the internet, what excuse do you have, bro? It's not like you're going to, I need to check Twitter to see what the fuck people are. No one's talking about you, bitch. You're fixing the HVAC. Nobody did. Thanks for fixing the HVAC. Like, that's the best you're going to get. People are typing fucked up shit about me, and I'm still like, I'll push it out of my mind. I'm driving right now. Like, you're cooked, man. Something about this angle is just not, it doesn't look real. It's closer to 180 than to 90 by 15%. It's a 155 degree angle. Oh, fuck. Oh, it goes the other way. I'm stupid. It's a 215 plus 20. It's a 235 degree angle. Getting hot. Fuck you, man. Boiling. 223? Oh, motherfucker! Kate, I saw what you said, by the way. You said, did you tell him about the mosquito? I was waiting for a little bit of a lull, but we were breaking it down at the picnic yesterday. I know my role in a group setting. Comedic relief that like slightly pushes the envelope. Very like G-rated shit that like the worst 22-year-old would be like, it's not a movie for kids. There's humor only adults would get. While we were at the picnic, a mosquito landed like on my sternum, and Kate bare hand slapped me like in the chest, and it made like a reverberation, like it made an echo through my thoracic cavity. And all the other parents were like, "Whoa." And I said, "I told you, not in public." And they went, "Ah!" It brought them down, man. I had the line at the ready. In Guitar Hero, when you get the gold stars, that's what that felt like. Felt like I hit it, man. I nailed the solo. And I didn't even overstrum. Like the notes that were not, they didn't have the border, I was tapping them. I was just rolling straight on. I was hammering on and I was rolling off. I wasn't, because I had confidence. I wasn't strumming like, oh, just in case I miss this one, I'm gonna fucking, nah, bitch. And I hit the whammy, because you get a little extra meter off it. And then you gotta, just because the fucked up Stratocaster, like the gyroscope in it's all fucked up, so you gotta, you can actually enable a button to activate star power. So, no shot, bro. I'm pretending to be a rock star. I'm not hitting a button. Are you fucking crazy? Anyway. Fuck you. 18th century American merchants. 1801 deaths. He got out quick, huh? The pharmacist. British pharmacist, American defector. British Army brigadiers. Any chance this is Benedict Arnold? It's the only way that I would know who this is at all is if it was the most famous American trader of all time. Wayne Gretzky. You think if there's I don't know if he's in hell or heaven, okay? I don't really know what Benedict Arnold did. He had the misfortune of defecting to the losing side of the war. So that, you get some notoriety on that, for sure. I'm sure he did some fucked up stuff. But you think he's down in hell or up in heaven going, nobody ever remembers me for like all my great pharmaceutical service? Like, I'm sure this dude was he was making all sorts of like potions and tonics and shit like that, but they only remember him for being a spy. Being a spy. Oh, that's true. I forgot about the eggs. There is the eggs. Although that was a very common recurring NL bit is like it must have been a lot easier to be famous like 200 years ago because all you had to do was invent a sandwich and people were like, holy fuck. You're the smartest guy we've ever seen in our entire lives. The story of how Eggs Benedict got invented is maybe the worst version of that, where a dude was like hung over and went into a hotel restaurant and was like, give me an English muffin with a poached egg and a hollandaise sauce on it. And they were like, you're fucked up, dude. That's fucking crazy. You're fucking insane. And then they made it and he ate it and he went, what the fuck? This is the greatest food that's ever been invented. How did nobody ever think of this before, man? This is crazy. You're a genius. Or you could be famous today for being an 8-year-old who talks about Costco. Okay, the Rizzler he just had his 9th birthday. And the Rizzler didn't talk about Costco that much. And I know you're going to say, I was talking about Big Justice. Big Justice isn't that famous anymore. The Rizzler clears him, man. Big Justice is just going to school. The Rizzler's still making media. 1951 introductions, formal languages, pattern matching, and programming constructs. I don't know, man. Binary? Regex 1951? Holy fuck! I probably would have killed myself if I got a regex assignment in 1951 Although when you do it in the 21st century, you're like, it feels like some shit that was invented 70 years ago, so fair enough. Holy cow, man. On punch cards? That's crazy. Anti-capitalism, economic inequality, Jean-Jacques Rousseau slogans. I have no idea. Buy nothing day. Eat the rich. That makes way more sense. That makes a lot more sense. Yo, is that a Casio F91X, y'all? Can I zoom in? Zoom in? Can I get a zoom in? Is that a baby blue Casio F91X? Oh, curious. So you don't like rich people, and yet you're wearing a watch that costs $21.99? That's curious. Okay. Sorry, I don't like hypocrisy. 2010, 1.2 billion views. It's a party rock anthem. Let's go next. It sounds really familiar. Let's go one more. This seems like it's right in that like Minecraft parody era. It's what plays on like a government ad telling you to get vaccinated. That's so familiar right there. Like this. Give me one more. Time for myself. I never really get until I met you. How can I get you alone? I have no idea. Wait, I would lay down in the rain for you. A grenade? I would lay on a grenade? Bruno Mars grenade, okay. I don't think he says I'd lay down in the rain for you. Must be grenade. Hand bomb. Hand bomb. Oh, man. Kids Bob version. You're glorping it up. I got nothing against Bruno Mars. I'm so excited for right now to tell you that we will not be playing Silksong on the 4th. We'll be playing Everybody's Golf. And then you guys to all laugh. And then on September 4th, for you to forget and be like, wait, he's not playing Silksong? What is this Everybody's Golf shit? And then I gotta be like, I told you like 100 times. I'm gonna play Everybody's Golf instead of Silksong. And then you're gonna be like, I thought it was a joke. I laughed because I thought it was a joke. But we're gonna be hitting golf balls, man. Don't play it. I don't want spoilers. It's a Metroidvania. You can't spoil it. Spoilers, you'll see a door you can't get to, and then later in the game, cover your ears, you'll get something that lets you get to the door. And then when you go through that door, there's gonna be some shit in there that lets you blow up a rock that lets you get into like an area you couldn't get to before. And that's gonna give you like a freeze power, which is going to allow you to freeze enemies to get over some spikes, which you previously could not get over, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. This is the attack helicopter of gaming jokes. No, it isn't. You can't just be like, the only thing that makes them similar is that you don't like either of them. That does not mean that they're the same. You can't just be like, oh, this sandwich is the diarrhea of food just because you don't like the sandwich might be fine. You got to criticize the sandwich on its own merits. 2 genres. Okay, that is really good. You brought us back. 2 genres. I don't really care for Metroidvanias though. Best Metroidvania of all time, legit Guacamelee, but you guys aren't ready for that take because when it came out, it had a I'm a firing a laser meme in it, and people were like, memes in my video game? I play video games to get away from iFunny. Wait, this would be a great way to start the video. Just making sure I don't fit in. Hey, we're back. It's Tuesday. We're playing Overlooting. What is Overlooting? You know me. I go to Steam, new releases. I see a roguelike. It has positive reviews, and it came out, so we're going to play it. It's that simple. This is actually out. This is not a demo. I purchased this. I don't know where to put my camera, but that's okay. This is Maximilian, man. He's a beloved hero who gave up fighting to become a blacksmith. Starts with a bunch of stuff that they'll tell us about in the tutorial, I'm sure. I will attack you with my sword. You've been attacked and killed. Then I will open a treasure chest and choose between 3 things. The bastard sword, the undead breastplate, or the Bushido sandals. Are we in a tutorial or are we just playing the game? I have no idea, to be honest with you. I will say, as of right now, it may possibly be the easiest game that's ever been invented. But I may come to regret that. We'll see. Dude, it was funny to be at the gym yesterday and overhear 2 old heads busting each other's balls talking about ball. Honestly, that is what the rampant ageism in our current generation, myself included, is depriving us of. Is toxic male friendships that are actually deeper than any other friendship that's ever existed, where you know almost nothing about your best friend, but you can say almost anything to them. That's what it's all about, man. Having some dude you've been friends with for 50 years, but don't know, like, the names of his kids. God, I want that so bad. That sounds awful. Okay, Garfield Rule 34. What do you want out of life? Every time I always laugh. It was a long weekend, right? I was out in vivo for Saturday and Sunday. Monday, my daughter was in an activity Monday morning. So I was in Apollo's chat, and just Apollo's chat was taking me out, man. Anytime Apollo's doing just chatting, I'm like, I forgot. No disrespect, but like, they're not real. They're talking about stuff that's not real, man. I forget specifically what took me out, but they were like talking about, there was like Apollo was like, you guys would be really interested in like trying this one thing out. And they're like, isn't it evil because one of the people involved in it wears his hat backwards or something like that? And I'm like, you're not supposed to know that, man. You're not supposed to know that this guy wore his hat. But it's like, it reminds me of in my chat when someone said, I'm not fucking with paintings because only rich people had themselves painted back in the day. I just imagine the confidence to just be like, an entire discipline of art. Nah, it's actually traitorous to the current class warfare to look at a painting because paintings were for rich people back in the day. You gotta get offline, man. Look at some pictures, man. They were making them good back then. They're probably making them good now, but unfortunately, it's just easy to respect old art because somebody's already done the work of telling you it's important. Whereas, like, if somebody makes a new painting that's awesome, you gotta wait for somebody else to be like, is this actually good? Like, if a painting was made in, like, 1996, I need someone with a PhD to be like, is this shit good? Because, like, if it was made in 1700s, I could be like, wow, I can't believe they made this shit back then. But, like, I don't want to be made to look foolish by, like, accidentally appreciating a painting that it turns out is, like, not actually good and is actually bad. Live your own truth? Well, there's an element of that. But then also at the same time, if you tell that to people, like, when they're too young, that's how you end up with, like, Ryan the Hedgehog. I think it's like, you could probably start living your own truth when you're like 47 or something like that. But do not live your own truth when you're 14. That's not you. That's you at just a derivative. Like, that's a moment in time, an instantaneous measurement of you. There's no cumulative you yet. You haven't been a person. You're minus 4 years old in terms of, like, you know, becoming a real person. Maybe when you're 47, you can start to live your truth. That's a bit away, though. Still a little bit away. Armor 8. Swiftness dodge. Okay. Gotta be that, man. 2-star uncommon beats 2-star common any day of the week. Am I just insanely good? Like, nobody can touch me, man. I'm kind of suffering from success in that. Like, I feel like I'm doing too well. But I don't know, like, what's gonna kill me, because I don't perceive anything in this game as being a threat to me yet. Slime Mother. When attacked, if there's less than 2 slime drones, summon a slime drone. If not, increase the attack of a random slime drone by that amount. Get cracked. I'm chilling. I'm not chilling. You gotta go. Y'all, I'm dead. I'm going to die. Don't leave him alive with 1 HP. Game over. When you hit that fateful time where you're like, am I gonna do a second run? I'd like to do one more just to see if there's any sauce. Sometimes you take a bite of a hamburger and you're like, what's going on with this hamburger? I don't really get it. And then in the middle, you realize they bunched up like all the diced onions and the pickle and the ketchup and the mustard all in the middle. But like, I am a little, as of right now, I'll give you my unfiltered opinion. I was a little surprised to see this on the Steam homepage. If this is all we're getting, I'm not trying to be like a dickhead about it. I'm just saying, like, I thought there would be like a gimmick or something like that. I thought there'd be some sort of thing where I could go, it's like blank meets blank or something like that. But I don't think there's any blank meets blank at all. Give me some dodge chance. I could be wrong. A lot of big games coming out this month, so the indies are getting out of the way. Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure this might just be like one dude from Estonia. Which is, it's kind of funny to think that there's like a fella in Tallinn right now who's like, I can't put out my game today. Like, Silksong's coming out this week. I guess, it's something you got to think about. Now we're talking 14 armor. I can't, look at the type of shit this game's got me saying, man. I can't play this. I can't be saying this kind of stuff. 20% counterattack? I can't, those words can't be exiting my mouth. What do you got? 2 potions? All right. My dad woke me up with loud TikTok videos 3 times in the middle of the night. I'm going to drop 7 metal pipes in the middle of the night out of spite. Hey, listen. I did want to say, I think I read it wrong. I don't think you wrote middle of the night 2 times. One thing I'm eternally grateful for, my parents are not teenagers trapped in old people's bodies. I'm pouring one out for you if you got the type of parents where you got to tell them to keep their shit down, even though you're like 20 to 30 years younger than them. I would be very upset if I had to like wake up at 1 in the morning and be like, Dad, turn off the YouTube shorts. Like, you're supposed to be the parent. That's a rough role, man. I'm not even just trying to be funny. I'm being genuinely sympathetic. You consider yourself an unk or what? Yeah, I think so. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with it, though. I think it's just, I mean, by the time you reach, like, my age, you maybe 36 is not that age. You ever go to, like, a nice department store and you see some incredibly old people that are dressed like nephew? If you're old, dressing nephew amplifies the unk. When you see the 73-year-old guy decked out in the Gucci tracksuit, he's more unk as a result of himself trying to nephew himself. He's trying to turn himself into a nephew, but you can't fight Father Time. Father Time's undefeated. Dressing unk is cool? No, dressing unk is just, you dress your age. If you're unk age but you dress nephew, you end up underflowing the number and becoming like max value unk. Thank you. It's embarrassing to try to cling to your nephew status when you're already unk. Now, unk and nephew didn't exist as a paradigm when I was a nephew. So it hurts. I never got my time as a nephew. At least I never got named a nephew. I basically spawned in as an unk because I only found out about the paradigm in the last few years. That being said, society flourishes when men plant trees that they will never sit in the shade of. So I'm okay. I'll pay the unk tax so that some nephews can be nephews, even though I will never be a nephew. If that's what it takes for society to get better, then so be it. I'm 35. I have no idea what you're talking about. At family Thanksgiving, When the dinner's over, the nephews go to the couch to watch TV, to watch the Lions game. The unks are on the dining room table stacking up plates and bringing them to the kitchen. Okay? That's the neph-unk paradigm. Now, if you don't know where you stand yet, you're a nephew, okay? Go out to the living room, watch the Lions game, look at your phone. What about aunts and nieces? I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know. I think they just talk. They don't get down with all this like name calling type stuff. They don't put a label on it. They're just family. That's my thinking, at least. I'm not 100% sure. What am I doing, man? I'm just clicking on stuff, wasting everybody's time. I've lost all confidence in myself as an entertainer. I don't understand why this initiate staff doesn't work with the other initiate staff. They got a star incompatibility or something, I don't know. They got the same color, but I guess one's got a silver border, one's got a gold border. You're going to explain it to me. I'm going to stop you. I don't really care. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. We need more games that play themselves, man. I'm just clicking on stuff looking freaky. You're doing good? You got 60% counter. Wait, 60% crit, 40% counter? Is that good? That good? Seems pretty solid, I guess. I fundamentally do not respect a game when poison does damage to armor, even if you have been poisoned. How does that make sense? A snake bit me and I'm like, oh, my fucking armor's melting. That doesn't make sense. That shit should be in my blood doing damage beneath the armor, man. That doesn't, and then poison's not purple. Okay, poison's not purple, poison's green. Acid's purple. Sometimes orange. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Do you do anything? You click on the bad guys, man. Or maybe I'm the bad guy. I don't know. We gotta get Jonathan Blow on this one. This is why Trickshot Simulator was the last honest game. Low key, top 5 game of the year still. We needed a new trick shot. Yeah, absolutely. Blueprints is up there. Blueprints, great game. I destroyed you. But it didn't, you know what? Blueprints is kind of in the same boat, man. You didn't have to, oh, should I take this shit? Blueprints got me fucking plus 2-3% to spawning puzzle pieces in the, fuck you, man. Walk into the room, solve a riddle. That's it. You didn't need to worry about all this malarkey, man. You know what's crazy is that, like, gamers used to say, like, these aren't games. They used to say, these are games, bro. These aren't school. These are games. Oh, reading? Sorry, I'm not in school. The only place you read. I'm playing a video game right now. The video game is school, bro. Look at this shit. The fucking spreadsheet is right over here. This shit was made in Microsoft Access, man. The games are school now. You know what would be fucked up? Is what if humans weren't like the obviously dominant species on the planet? And don't start hitting me with some shit about dolphins or octopuses. Like, be real. Be fucking for real with me for a second here. Imagine if we were like 50-50 with another species or something like that. Going outside would be fucked up, man. Or maybe not. I imagine that it would be like constant competition for like resources or whatever, like carbon. But like, I guess every time we go outside, we're kind of like hanging out with animals. Most of the time, I feel like nature documentaries are a little dishonest because they always show you the part where like the lion runs down the gazelle. But like every once in a while, you just see the animals kind of like casually hanging out. And then like the lion remembers, it's like, oh shit. I'm a lion and that's a gazelle, and it just like eats the gazelle. Well, for the most part, I feel like 98% of the day, they're just like, I got no problem with you, you got no problem with me. And then they get hungry and they're like, you know, you gotta go. But animals are funny because they don't know that they're animals. You know what I mean? Or maybe we're the idiots that like have convinced ourselves that we're like living a different life than the animals, when really it's just layers of abstraction on top of competition for limited resources. But I like to think we live a more elevated lifestyle than like, you know, a fucking fly or something like that. The fly, you got to admit, and this might be the most evil thing I've ever said, the average animal having no degree of sentience is fucking funny. Like, bro, why are you doing that? You're there, bzz, bzz, ass. The air has plus 1% parts per million of something that smells tasty. You fucking idiot! You're not doing anything, man. You're not doing. You're just an organic algorithm going. Stupid ass. You're alive for like a day and a half. Make the most of it, bro. What if aliens come and see you as the same thing? Could be, man. They might be right for all I know. They might be right, man. I need this dodge, please. Thank you. People when they get tricked into signing up for the military. Is that a real thing in the U.S.? Is it true in America in the 12th grade? Military recruiters come to your high school and try to snatch you up? We kind of had the same thing in Canada. People came to our high school from Carleton University and tried to trick us into going there. No shot, buddy. I'm just kidding. It's on the up. Carleton's on the up. It's bucking its reputation. Plus, I went to Queens. What do I know? And the Ravens, they're like one of the best basketball teams in the Canadian Intramural Sports League, right? You went to Elon's university? Hey, listen, okay? He went to my university. Also, he couldn't hack it, so he bounced. And then every year it gets funnier that he says he left Queens because there weren't enough girls at the school. That dude was not getting any pussy. Let's be honest. That didn't happen till PayPal, okay? Like, who are you to? It's not getting the pussy is fine. That's the base case. Lying about it is really funny. Lying about it in an interview is hilarious. Till the hair plugs? Okay, pump the brakes. You might. Elon isn't going to hear what you said, except he might, because he's online all the time. But your favorite streamer who's bald might. 7 to 12 damage, 20% counter attack. 10 to 16 damage, 15% bludgeoning. I think I got to stick with the counter attack because the counter can give us extra lifesteal. But we're dead. All right. It's like I don't think it's bad. It's just sort of like it sounds bad. I'm just like I don't know why it exists. Like it's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like when you order all that Indian food and you're like, oh, don't forget the papadam. But then when it all arrives, you're like, why did I order so much papadam, man? I got too much food. 3 naans, 3 curries, pakora, 2 mango lassi, and then I got these 4 papadams that I just got for like, just to have them. Chat, we're playing Death Howl. It has a demo on Steam. This game was described to me as Slay the Spire meets Into the Breach. That being said, we might not play it because it's not being captured on video. It's possible the Uma screen will save you. It totally worked. Uma Musume has done such positive stuff for the world. Sorry on YouTube, by the way, because you're like you've been watching this for 90 seconds. Right now, if you're locked into the Northernlion experience, you're like, that's fine, I'll wait. But if you're showing this video to a friend, they're like, what's wrong with you? Hire an editor? No, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to ask you to scrub like 30 seconds ahead in the video player. Like, people will really be like, hire an editor for the shit that I put on in the second monitor while I fill out my expense spreadsheet on my main monitor. You're not watching this shit anyway. You're just waiting until it's like a bath. You're waiting until the content's just the right temperature. And sometimes you're like, too hot. And sometimes you're, I will let it sit a little too long. I got to run a little warm water. But it doesn't really matter what's going on as long as the temperature's right, okay? There you go. We're going to start a new game. And this is a new game. I've never played it before. But I have been to Scandinavia in 6000 BCE. Worst part about going to Sweden is the time change. I mean, every time I eat the food, it's like I've gone back in time. Wait for me in the spirit world. It is kind of crazy to think about, like, You know, there were people that were, I don't want to say they're just like us, because culture makes a difference, obviously. But like, essentially, identical human beings were living like 50,000 years ago. We don't know what the hell they were getting up to, man. They not like us, bro? Okay, Kendrick Lamar. I think they were like us for the most part. I mean, they were, if you took someone from like 15,000 BCE and you gave them a year to get used to modern society, I think they'd be posting some really good stuff. Can you imagine seeing like a Blue Sky account from somebody that's from Scandinavia 6,000 BCE? And they'll be like, wow, they'll see like a video of the Rizzler and they'll be like, there was a boy in my village who used to look like this. We broke his skull open with rocks and ate his brain. I would re-sky that or whatever they call it. I think it might be the greatest poster of all time, man. Olvi? They probably weren't doing that. They were probably just bored, man. Your son. He died in your arms. Please, tell me where to find him. I will show you. Come to me. Big mistake, man. That's the devil. Big mistake. Hello? Olvi? What's going on?
The street.
Of course. All right, YouTube, we're back with Death Howl. You may have missed the first 30 seconds of the game. We died in ancient Sweden, and now we're back because we have found our son in the afterworld. This game has been described to me. It's a little haunting right now, don't get me wrong, but it's been described to me as FTL meets Slay the Spire. It's an FTL deck builder. But right now, there's a lot of pathos going on. It's FTL? Whatever, Into the Breach, whatever. Same game. It's too late for you. Go back. Return to your world. I will not let him die. I can change this. You're not even a shaman yet. I'm stronger than you think. I'm not giving up. I love that for you. Spirits. 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 LMFAO's second most famous song, if they used a different vernacular or whatever. I move close to you. I punch you. I punch you again. It really is Into the Breach. Holy cow. I punch you again. And then I kill you. Top 5 furniture items? I think I'm a basic sort of fella. I think I'm the type of beast that might go bed number 1. I could live without a couch. I'm not sure. A bed is really hard to live without. Like, it's got to be pack one, pick one. I would go computer chair before couch, I think. I never use a couch. Interior design is all fucked up these days. I long, well, I don't really want this in my house because it would make it look worse, but I long for the days where people's living rooms were oriented around their TVs. We're doing the same thing with TVs that we're doing with like iPads and phones. The medium itself is not evil. It's what people do with it that is not that great, okay? So for 30 years, probably longer, the living room was structured around the TV. The TV was placed in the center of the living room. The furniture was oriented around it because the family would get together and watch TV. Then at some point we decided You gotta have a TV, but let's just orient the living room as if the TV is not there. So you get the TV mounted on the wall, and then the couches are like perpendicular to the TV. Like when you're sitting on the TV, you're like this. You're not bang on anymore in like an old leather couch or something like that, where when you sit in it, you get 6 inches shorter. We went so wrong, man. We went so wrong. The worst is like, and there's times you go over to people's houses, they don't even have a TV. They have couches and chairs in the living room and then a painting where the TV should be. And I'm like, that looks nice, all right? If I saw that picture in a magazine, I would be like, that room looks nice. But that's insane. You're not all getting together in the living room and looking at the painting. Like the same painting all day, every day? That's crazy, man. I think I am going to die, though. And the reason I say that is I have 6 HP. That's the big one. You can go back to the bonfire. I wouldn't respect it if the game let me just go back to the bonfire. That's for easy games like Dark Souls. Dark Souls is hard. It literally has a button in the game that when you press it, you can't take damage. You become invincible. And you get infinite refills on your healing items. And it's supposed to be a hard game. Okay, whatever you say, buddy. Thoughts so far? It's one of those things where I think like the game is good, but it's so good that it suffers as a streaming game. It's too good to stream. The perfect streaming game is not a 10 out of 10. The perfect streaming game is like a 6 out of 10. Because a 10 out of 10, it demands too much attention. It sets a tone. You like the tone of the quips isn't matching the tone of the game. There's some tonal dissonance. A 6 out of 10 is what it's all about, man. But oh my God, it's going to feel so good when everybody's golf comes out. And even if it's terrible, I can just play it for like 15 hours in 1 week and just talk about anything, man. I can look at chat and be like, hey, what's going on? And people will be like, does anyone think that, why are they still even making other flavors of bagel other than everything? Everything won, bro. And I'd be like, that's so true. That being said, I do think you need like one sweet bagel. You need like one blueberry or something like that just to keep the variety going. But yeah. It's certainly an everything bagel. It won the war, man. But like all the games now just want to be, oh, I'm a good game, play me, I'm a good game, I've got story, I've got atmosphere, I've got mechanics. Come on, man. Just put beep boop, flashing lights, and I go, Does anyone think Dennis Miller kind of sucks, but he might have been the best weekend update anchor? I mean, come on, man. Like, put the politics aside a little bit. He's a really good weekend update anchor. And third best actor in Joe Dirt. It's true. Anyone remember the Phantom tax? That's what it's all about, man. What's the Phantom tax? The Phantom tax is very easy to understand. I'm surprised you need to ask. A little embarrassed you need to ask. Anytime one of your friends gets food, you get to take a little bit of it as a Phantom tax, named after the streamer Fanum, who would steal some food from everybody that got food. Fanum, of course, famous for they done put Fanum on a horse. Exactly. See, you get it. You don't need an explanation, unlike some people. By the way, you're cooked. Joey doesn't share food. Now we're talking. Now we are freaking talking. Friends, this website's done, man. I don't know. I just thought it would be funny to say. There's nothing. We've done all the bits. We've covered every possible debate the internet has ever had. We've played all the games. It's time to jettison, man. It's time to get out. We had our fun, and now it's time to serve our conscience overseas, coming in fast over me. I'll do the REM poster so you don't have to. The snail, bro. Gains block when damaged by an attack. They leave a toxic trail behind. Everyone had that one classmate that left a toxic trail behind when moving. And you know what? Everyone also, I'm realizing these are just like classmate archetypes, man. Everybody had a classmate that could not be moved by other characters. Actually, to be honest, everyone had a classmate. And this is true, and it might have been me. Everyone had a classmate where jumping was a normal part of their movement, too. Just a lot of guys out there. I'm trying to think of guys. Like, what kind of guys and gals was I in school with? What the classic is, this guy was real. Guy who pretended to be a ninja in the 12th grade. Like, was straight up, he would talk as if he was a ninja, and we would all be like, you're not a ninja. And he would say some, like, ninja shit. This is a duo, uncle and nephew duo. I mean, not spiritually, literally an uncle and his nephew, who just happened to be, like, within 3 months of each other in age. Girl who was pregnant, yeah. They still, it's a weird sentence. Do they still make those? Are they still doing teenage pregnancy? I thought that we'd stopped that one. Not as many, okay. Suitcase guy, yeah, suitcase and suit. I know that guy. I mean, listen, it's kind of crazy that you fucked up your whole high school career by wearing a suit on the first day of freshman year. That's a huge misstep. That's so an unforced error, but yeah, that's true. There was a suit guy, and there was also the guy that would wear like military fatigues to school. Or you ever? I don't know if this is just a Canadian thing, but you ever like go to the Remembrance Day assembly, and all of a sudden one of the kids from your class is in the assembly wearing like a scout's uniform and doing like salutes and stuff like that, and you're like, damn, James is in Beavers? I had no idea, man. It's called Beavers up here, our Boy Scouts. I had no idea James was in Beavers, man. It's crazy because he's like kind of a nerd. What's he doing up there with the World War II veteran carrying a wreath over to this monument and then like saluting? I had no idea, man. Horse Girl's a classic. Sorry, we will click in the game at some point, I swear. But this is entertainment. I don't know what you want me to say. If you're not entertained by this, you're probably still in the 8th grade and you're like, nobody's like that. Wait a year and you'll figure it out. There was always the guy who was asking for money to eat messed up stuff. Hey, will you give me $1 if I eat like this, if I eat the soap from the bathroom? Or like a glass full of like juice from the garbage can or something like that. He'd be like, will you give me $1 if I eat this? Like, yeah, I guess so. Ew. Yeah, people, they weren't even like filming it or anything back then. That's what I think is going to be like hard for people to understand, man. They were just out there like, just eating poison. Sometimes not even for money. Sometimes like just for the love of the game. Guy who threw up in class. I didn't have that, but I did have guy who fell backwards on his chair and smashed the back of his head on the brick wall of the classroom. And it's still one of my favorite stories. Because it's, you know what, it's another kind of guy that I forgot. Guy who is a teenager but still covers his eyes when people kiss in a movie. I told the story 100 times. I'm sure Librarian knows what's coming. The guy, for some reason, we were watching Pearl Harbor in geography class, which makes no sense. And then there's a makeout scene, and then everyone in the class is just like being normal about it. But then there was like one guy who was like covering his eyes during the makeout scene, and not ironically, I might say, not ironically. That guy's the premier of Ottawa now. Librarian, you don't know ball. Ottawa is a city. It doesn't have a premier. It has a mayor, okay? You might say, oh, the premier lives in Ottawa. No, they don't. The capital of Ontario is Toronto. The premier lives in Toronto, okay? You're confusing your federal and your municipal and your provincial politics. Ottawa has a mayor, and the prime minister lives there at what I'm going to think is 33 Sussex Drive. It's kind of crazy that politicians are just like leaving their addresses out there, right, man? I mean, like, there's people out there that don't like them. Why would they just, their information security is like horrible. And you're like, boom, guess what? Oh, you think I'm ruining the country? Guess what? You can find me at like 21 Downing Street or whatever. That's crazy, man. You gotta be more careful about stuff like that. I gotta be careful about stuff like that. You should have to be careful about stuff like that. Ever tell you the time it was literally just getting our Nexus renewed? But I got a letter in the mail from, I can't remember, what's the White House address? Is it 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? I got a letter in the mail from 1601 Pennsylvania Avenue. And I went, oh. When I saw the, like, return address, I was like, oh, shit. I finally said something I shouldn't have said, because that's, like, right next to the... that's, like, the annex or something like that. But it's just the government being like, yeah, your automated Nexus approval came in, and you're good. Don't kill me. I have to let this... Chiblee, this is going to be so relatable. Please don't kill me, please. I have to get this section of the YouTube video over 20 minutes. If I post a YouTube video that's 19 minutes and 51 seconds, all the comments are going to be like, couldn't even make it 20 minutes, huh? So please don't kill me on this turn. It feels so bad to post a video. It feels bad to post like a 21-minute stream snippet, but a 19-minute, 40-second stream snippet is like... It feels horrible, but I got desperate times call for desperate measures. I guess I could like move over here and then play a block of wood and die a little bit more slowly. Never mind. Oh man. You got me. I think I'm gonna slash mark. Like it seems good, man. I don't know. It seems good. It seems good. It seems like a fun game. It's just it's hard to riff over the top of it. It's hard to riff over the top of it on like a Tuesday, man. You want some itch games to play? No, Plugs. We struck out today, man. Nah, we didn't, because there's one more. There's one more that you recommended that's on the list. We're actually we're in a new epoch. For once, we've got, you know, there's ebbs and flows. We've gone through times where people were starved for variety, but now we're actually like we're too varied, and we need mashed potatoes, we need rice, we need mixed greens, we need some shit that's like not remarkable. We don't need sides and mains anymore. We need a starch. We need a starch where you can just talk about nothing, turn it on, and knock out some base hits, man. It's not going to be Uma. You've lost your mind. We're going to check out the Flip Up demo. And this, Plux, this might be it for you, man. This might be it for you. Please don't kill me. I never, not a single time did I suggest I was going to kill you. That's like, you're making me seem evil by putting words in my mouth. Can we, Chiblee, can we stop this guy? Do you know this guy? Do you know swiftyjavascript? Can you do me a favor, Chiblee? Oh, sorry, I'm frozen. Just go ahead and type /user swiftyjavascript and see what they've been typing in chat for like weeks, man. So you got to scroll past the one where he says, Mr. Northernlion in India, be like, just keep scrolling and then go up, and for like weeks he's been telling me Chiblee's calling me on Discord, man. I don't really know. I don't know what's going on. I made the joke when you were talking about Indian food. Sorry, Chiblee, back me up on this one, or else you don't get to post like a bot, like you have a gimmick account, and then when you're called out, you're like, I'm a real person. You have to live that gimmick lifestyle forever. Gimmick accounts can't break character. If Yao Ming was on trial for murder, he would probably say, "Hi, Judge Judy." Yao Ming is the GOAT. I'll admit, there was probably like 6 months I would go to Chiblee's stream, and Yao Ming would say, "Hi, Northernlion," and there's a chance I didn't even reply. There's a chance I didn't say hi, Yao Ming. But he kept it up, and he's been doing it forever. They've been doing it so long that it's second nature. I always make an effort to say HCJ guys at next Yao Ming. Flash marker, Flip Up. We're back playing Flip Up, y'all. What is it? Pinball Jump King. Let's get started. I hope you're enjoying the variety, because I'm having a crisis of faith that this is how I want to spend the rest of my streaming life. Starting tomorrow, Expedition 33, Clara Obscura. We need something we can sink our teeth into, because no disrespect to Plux, who suggested all these games, but going through 15-minute tutorials for 5 out of 10 games it's getting old, man. It's getting old. But they could bring me back. Flip Up could bring me back, because it's already got hold space to skip. I'm not even sweating that. Okay, it's Pinball Jump King. Let's get down to business, y'all. Try to reach the top of our training area. Easily, man. Not my favorite sound to hear from the kitchen. Did you guys hear that? No? Okay, don't worry about it then. That's my cross to bear. Kitchen sound tier list. Simmering pot of sauce or stew or soup has got to be close to the top. That's really good. I kind of like the steam when the rice cooker's done. When the rice cooker yells at me in Korean, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then 3 seconds later, it goes... That one's pretty good. Kettle whistling. Oh, you mean the microwave dinging? Ice tray sounds. I find that... I don't know, man. Is ice in the soda hits? My dad actually... I think he thinks like I'm an alien. Because I don't like ice in my water when I'm eating dinner at home. Like, I don't know if anybody else has parents like this. But when my parents are over and we're having dinner... He's always like, do you want something to drink? And I'm like, yeah, I'll just take some water. And then he goes, any ice? And I go, nah, no ice. And then he looks at me like I just told him like I'm going to smoke 100 cigarettes at once. Like the look that he gives me is a look of like, are you sure? Like it's bad for you to drink water without ice in it. There's something about like he loves the ice, man. And sometimes it's even worse. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I don't need a drink. I just had like a drink before dinner. And then he's like, you should really have a drink with dinner. I don't know if it's like, maybe people were like choking all the time when he was growing up. But these days, I guess people have gotten a lot better at swallowing. The swallow technology has gone crazy in the past like 30 years. I mean, at some point we should play Jump King. I've been thinking that. I think I played it like for like an hour, and I was like, I don't like not being able to move without jumping. I was like, or no, you know what it was? It didn't capture right. That's killed a lot of great games, but obviously something happened because people have been playing it. Most people tank desktop capture. That's just crazy to me, man. I got too many like important documents, man. I applied for a credit card. It's kind of pissing me off. I applied for a credit card through my bank. I didn't even shop around for like best credit card to get. Because I need one. I'm not going to get into it. I need one for a very specific purpose, but it doesn't have to be like a great credit card. I submitted all the documents that they asked me to submit. And then this morning they hit me with another email. It said, we need more information. You know everything about me, bro. You're my bank. How much more could I possibly submit to you that you don't already know? You got my checking, my savings. I pay my taxes through the bank. I pay all my bills through the online bank. I have another credit card through the bank. Like, what more could you possibly need? You either know I'm good for it or you know I'm not. You know everything about me. We have to know. All right, I'll tell you, I need a corporate credit card for when I'm buying shit on Steam, okay? If you must know. The thing is, I probably buy, like, it's a rough business. I'm not going to lie to you. I probably buy $2,000 a year of stuff on Steam, but they won't take Valve won't take the Amex, unfortunately. And the reason is because they're like, why should I pay 6% processing fees or whatever it is? Meanwhile, they get 30% of every single video game purchase just for like owning the store, which is madness in a digital era, but whatever. Is it Uma? Guys, you're so weak. And that's the part that annoys me, is that I realize, because I see you guys, because I had to purge like 100 of you through from my friends list because you stopped playing. And the graveyard of people who bought like hundreds of dollars in Uma packs but have stopped playing the game it's littered with mom's credit card receipts, man. It's so sad. When I see someone that has not logged in like 41 days and they have a max level Kitasan Black on their profile, I'm like, oh man, that's nasty work, man. Couldn't be me. I'm free to play, and I won the Taurus Cup Gold Division, by the way. Data processing. You have ended the course. Time, 20 minutes, 21 seconds. Pads hit, rank, C. That's not too bad, man. And that was the demo! We can do it in the next 11 minutes. Is that supposed to be a brag? Yeah, dude. I probably got 150 hours in the game at $0. It's literally a better purchase than Factorio. Sorry. I mean, you've been using that logic against me for like years. Why would I pay 3 cents for a game when I got Factorio and a pay what you want humble bundle and I played it for 10,000 hours? Well, now I got some shit for fucking free, bitch, and I've been playing it for it's an infinite dollar to hour ratio. So Factorio can eat me. Because musume literally owns you, little bro. Psy Games, I'm sorry I was not your mother. I've been thinking that. I've been getting some bad runs lately, but just some stuff pops into your head now and then. Oh, restart. Isn't Factorio like 40 bucks all in now? Honestly, it's probably like incredibly underpriced. My beef is not with Factorio. My beef is with people who anchored what a reasonable price for something is off of the best value they've ever gotten in any medium ever. Silksong should be more than 20 bucks. I'm with you on that one, but I don't want to say it. And the reason I don't want to say it is not because I'm worried about backlash. It's just because, like, I'm hoping that at some point there's, like, a time in my life where I'll be free from the conversation of, like, this $15 game should be $20. This $20 game should be $15. I've been talking about it for a decade. Restart me. You're rich, though? Yeah, I know. That's why I'm surprised so many of you guys were like dumping money into musume. I was like, damn. You guys are on my ass all that. I can't have an opinion on anything, or people are like, well, yeah, but you're rich. Well, meanwhile, you're the ones dumping like 500 bucks into horse game. Dynamic means testing game coming out Q4 2026. I still like the nightmare, and this idea, I could honestly believe that it could come to fruition. And the worst part is, coming up with this idea, everyone is rightfully going to say, I hate this idea and it's evil. But if you were born into this system and it was normal to you, you would fight to the death to keep the status quo, rather than evaluating it on its own merits. So what I'm trying to say is we better rebel against it while we have the chance, because our kids are going to be like, no, yeah, this shit sucks, but it's better than every single alternative. And yeah, that's a little bit influenced by the idea that, like, for some reason, British people are like, I like when the restaurant doesn't cut my pizza, but like, this is more serious. Grocery store that has cookies, but not the delicious kind. The kind where it knows like your personal browsing history. Ergo, as soon as you walk into the store, they scan something on your phone. Beep, boop, 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 beep. They know your purchasing history. They know your relative income bracket. They know what you like. They know what you don't like. And then the price tags change when you're close to them to what they think you would pay. So instead of being like, I'm not going to pay $4.99 for Captain Crunch, you might walk down the aisle and be like, oh shit, $2.29 Captain Crunch. But you went in there for milk, you were expecting to pay $2.99 a gallon for milk, and you're like, what the hell, milk's $8.99 a gallon? Stings, but I really do need it, so I guess I'll get the milk, but I'm not happy about it. Don't say I didn't warn you. That's all I'm saying. Don't. And they're going to do some shit too. They're going to do some shit like, well, if you go on the app, you actually get 15. Just use the app, Unk. Unk doesn't know about the app. They think we're stupid, and they might be right. On the other hand, it might be based. Because if you had like a burner phone where you just looked up like how to eat for 3 cents a day, maybe you could bring that to the grocery store and you'd be like, oh shit. Beef is free. Then they'd probably like make that a crime or something. So I don't know. The point is, there's no winning. The only winning move is not to play or whatever. But I'm sure you're saying, wow, what a great idea. But I have to focus on this right now. If you'll allow me, you can have peace and quiet in like 4 minutes. Nah, man, it's not gonna be peace and quiet. I'll tell you that much. Take my kid on a 45-minute drive each way. The worst part is she doesn't even know it's coming. And it's not like we're doing a 45-minute drive to go to like a cool place. I'm doing a 45-minute drive to do in-store pickup. And then getting in the car and going home. I gotta trick her. I gotta tell her, like, we're going to get ice cream, but it's just 5 minutes away. What you got on the aux? Chad already got it. K-pop Demon Hunters. Which is fine. Again, within the whole spectrum, and people are gonna hate me for calling it kids music, but I've been hanging out with like a lot of adults at birthday parties where their kids are turning 5, and it is kids music. I'm sorry to say. You can like it as well, but 5-year-olds are also really into K-pop Demon Hunters. Sometimes if I distract her, though, I can get like a couple of songs in on my own playlist before she goes, Dada, can we play my songs? And I always say yes. As a kid, it sucks having like no autonomy, man. Plus, I can just listen to my favorite songs in my head. Taylor Swift, also kids music, but people aren't ready for that. I don't know if all Taylor Swift is kids music, but kids my daughter's age do love Shake It Off, and also, what's the he wears short shorts, I wear t-shirts one? They like that one too. They like that one a lot. This young adult music? I'm just glad people are reading. I'm not going to be a snob about it. You're literally 30? Oh, okay, literally, that's a compliment. Secondly, I didn't say anything negative about Taylor Swift. If anything, she did me a huge service this year by getting engaged with Travis Kelce. She's, for some reason, people love narratives, I guess is the reason. It's really inflated Kelce's average draft position, which has led to a lot of arbitrage at the tight end position in fantasy drafts, in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe Kelce comes out and he's a viable, like, maybe he's TE3 this year. But I do believe that his draft position is inflated, A, by name recognition, but then also secondarily, because people are like, he's gonna be trying to get his wedding body, man. He's gonna be dialed in this year. And I'm like, I just don't think. I do believe my toxic trait is like, if I gambled, I would bet on the anytime goal scorer for a hockey player who is returning from the birth of his first son. It seems like there's a lot of, anecdotally, there's a lot of times where they're like, and Marian Gaborik is back in the lineup tonight after missing yesterday's game for the birth of his first son, and then the dude hits like a hat trick. It gives you some kind of energy, even though he's probably on like an hour and a half of sleep. But I don't think getting engaged is going to inflate your draft, or inflate your value necessarily, your position for sure. But like you have a kid, it changes your life. This is not meant to be rude, but like you get engaged, I guess you're kind of like, ooh, we're engaged. All right, what do you want to have for dinner? Like you're still the same person on the other side of it for better, not just for better or for worse, for better. But I'm so ready for the NFL season, man. What's game 1? Dallas Eagles, right? Ooh, that's a juicy one, especially for a fella like me that has Philly defense. My cousin had a kid and he said he no longer has time to do drugs. I think that's 100% true, man. Like, I think you can kind of, I'm proud of myself when Cobalt and his wife were expecting. I remember him talking about it. I made the analogy that it's kind of like hitting this, like, fatherhood is like hitting a can of Pringles. It's like all the chips either get in line or they shatter. I feel like that metaphor is held true, man. You only have time for one addiction in your life, man. Fatherhood or drugs. You can probably take drugs and compromise your ability as a father, or you can, spec into being, you don't have to be like the best father of all time. That's something that anyone else gets sus when the parent, and I'm not saying they're doing anything untowards. It's like the same way whenever somebody my age is like, they're wearing a shirt that is like, ask me about Jesus Christ, like that dude that I saw at the church in London, where I'm like, something happened to you. And I don't know if it was your fault or not, but I'm sorry that I was not your mother. Like you're damaged in some way, and then you're getting over that trauma by like overcompensating now. Whenever I see a dad that's like doing too much, that's what I feel. I'm like, something's not right. Either you're the dad on the jet ski or you're compensating for like something in your own childhood that you were lacking and now you're getting. But I'm like, can you cut it out? Because I don't even think You're making the rest of us look bad for sitting in our chairs. And we're not sitting in our chairs because we're lazy. We're sitting in our chairs because the kids are just running around having a good time, and we're tired of running after them all the time. It's just, let's sit in the chair, have a bubbly, have a sparkling water, talk about some adult stuff for 5 seconds, and then go, and put your hands on your thighs to help you get up a little faster. Then there's always the one dad who's like sprinting around with them and then like picking up his like 10-year-old and throwing his 98-pound 10-year-old like 3 stories into the air and then catching them. And you're like, fuck off, dude. What's wrong with you? Crazy, man. What happened to you? They're not really mogging, because I think the rest of the dads were kind of looking at each other going like, something happened to him. Something happened to that guy, man. Something's happened. Or like something, he fucked up. He fucked up when his kid was like 6 or something like that, and his wife was like, I'm going to leave you. And he was like, don't do it. I'll do anything. And then he's still living in like that hyper paranoia state where he brought it back like right from the edge or something like that. Like, that's not sustainable. It's like, you can't be the dad from Bluey in real life, especially not every single day. You're jealous and seething? No, dude, my kid's 4. I could throw her up in the air. Catching's kind of a different story. The throwing is the easy part. What's crazy is that you guys are like, he's not evil. But you know who you think is evil? Is the person who did like way too much work on their science fair project in 6th grade. So like, you got a bronze medal, they got a gold. You showed up with the volcano. They showed up with like, hey, here's how we're going to capture methane gas off a landfill and turn it into like power we can sell back to the power grid. You're literally beefing with like an 11-year-old kid from 2002 right now. I'm beefing with a real dude. You're beefing with nobody. You're beefing with somebody who doesn't even exist anymore. We got to open the schools, man. So true. I don't know if you guys have kids. The kids aren't in school anymore, man. Summer vacation's getting longer. They're getting more holidays. Like, I honestly think if I took my school calendar and I compared it to my daughter's school calendar, I think I cleared her by 40 days a year. That's like a day a week. I know, that's what's crazy. Maybe like 20. They are overscheduled. I shouldn't complain. When I was a kid, like, your life started at like 2:30 p.m. Like, now the kids like finish school and you like, okay, drop them off at cello class, and now you got gymnastics, and now you got ballet, and now you got soccer, and we're gonna eat dinner really quick, and then we got we're travel rugby, and then we gotta take you to fencing, and then we gotta take you to it's pointillism class. We gotta take you to pointillism class, and then it's you gotta go to Mandarin class, and then after Mandarin class you gotta go to Cantonese class, and after you finish Cantonese class you gotta go to we're learning how to make beef Wellington today. Yeah, kids these days really be on that Atomic Habits lifestyle or whatever. Kate's live. I'll send you over there. Goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow. Later.
The greatest heroes. The greatest heroes are the moms. Do you hate me? That's not true. The greatest co-hero is also dads. You did not let me finish. There are 2 heroes. Mom and dad. Although our daughter did say she had an amazing... She said she had such a realistic dream. She said she was in like a animal museum. And I said, is that a zoo? And then she said, no, it's an animal museum. And then like she saw catfish, but it wasn't like what we know of catfish. It was a catfish, like the face of a cat, but it was a fish. And then like jellyfish and like all that kind of stuff. And I said, oh, who did you go to the fish museum with? And she said, with mommy. And I said, oh, not with daddy? Like daddy wasn't with us? And then she said, no daddy. Only with mommy. Well, what's PMO? What's PMO? There is ice cream in the freezer, Ryan. I got a whole bunch of ice cream. There's definitely ice cream in the freezer. You just didn't look hard enough. What flavor? Vanilla. Vanilla. Our daughter loves vanilla.
I'm traveling down the road, not squirting with disaster. Got my finger up my bum and my wrist is moving faster. Got my denim on the floor and someone comes a knocking. Please don't open the door, I'm still stroking my cock and squirting with disaster, babe. Y'all don't know what I mean. Okay, that's all I got, but I think they went longer than expected.
That was crazy.
Thanks.
Yeah. You didn't have that written down?
No, it came to me in a dream.